The most effective way to grow your fan base on Spotify is with Facebook ads. And the easiest way to get set up with Facebook ads to send traffic to Spotify is using a simple link click traffic campaign. And when you get started at first, you might just simply use the open.spotify.com URL, paste it into the ad, and you're good to go. But if you want to go a little bit more complex and add your own branding to the advertising experience, you can use something that's called a link redirect. And a link redirect is something like tomdupreethe3rd.com or yourwebsite.com/song name that clicks inside the ad and then redirects that link to your Spotify profile. But the question is, are link redirects okay to use with Facebook advertising? Are they allowed, or will they get you in trouble? In this video, we're going to try to answer that question. Now, if you're new here, my name's Tom, and on this channel, we talk about music marketing, branding, and anything else you can think of when it comes to being an artist in the digital age. Now, if you do a quick Google search on link redirects for Facebook advertising, you will see two different sides of this story. On the one hand, you have people who will say, I've used link redirects all the time. They've never been a problem for me, no issues. And then you'll see the other side of the argument that says, well, Facebook's official stance is that link redirects are forbidden and you will get in trouble. Kind of neither of these is correct. Now, my experience is that I'm on this side of the fence where I've used link redirects for myself through tons of advertising campaigns, and I've used them for clients through tons of advertising campaigns, and they have always worked without issue. But what it comes down to is, what do Facebook's advertising policies say? Let's take a look. Now, before we dig into this, I do want to say one thing. Let's call it a bit of a disclaimer. Everything we're going to explore in this video is my interpretation of Facebook's advertising policies. This is simply an examination of their advertising policies and the ways that I have used to try to best understand them. When you get into Facebook's advertising policies here, there are two advertising policies really that have to do or might have to do with link redirects. There is no specific policy that expressly names link redirects as being prohibited per their policies. So the best we can do is find the ones that might apply most readily and see what they have to say. So the first one is this non-functional landing page policy. Ads must not direct people to non-functional landing pages. This includes landing page content that interferes with a person's ability to navigate away from the page. And in this policy, we have specifically landing pages that don't match the product or service promoted in the ad, and landing pages that require you to download additional programs or software to access the content on the page. Now, how does this apply to link redirects? One might be able to argue that a redirect does not give you the ability to navigate away from the page because it quickly moves from that link to another, but I don't think that's an issue. I think what they're really talking about is if I land on a page and I can't get off of that exact page. In reality, with a link redirect, you click on the link, it goes right to Spotify, and you can easily close that out if you want to. Not a big deal. For the two rules underneath it, you have landing pages that don't match the product or service promoted in the ad. If your link redirect is something like hotgirls.com and it redirects to Spotify, yeah, that's a problem. But if it's something like tomdupreethe3rd.com/hero, I think the argument can be made that you're going to a song called Hero. It's pretty obvious that I'm a musician and I have a song that is called that. And then the next one is landing pages that require you to download additional programs or software to access the content on the page. Now, suppose an argument could be made that if you don't have Spotify and you click a Spotify link, you have to download the app. But that's not the same as having to download software to access the page itself. Plus, tons of app developers use Facebook ads to promote their app. And by very nature of creating an app, you have to download software. So I don't think that one applies either. Now, the next policy that might have to do with link redirects is this one: circumventing systems. Ads must not use tactics intended to circumvent our ad review process or other enforcement systems. This includes techniques that attempt to disguise the ad's content or destination page. And examples here are restrict Meta's access to an ad's destination page. Now, this seems like the policy that is more likely to be the one that could potentially be violated by using a link redirect. However, I don't think this is the case either. As this says, ads must not use tactics intended to circumvent our ad review process. And this includes techniques that attempt to disguise the ad's content or destination. So the argument would be, Does a link redirect attempt to disguise the Spotify URL on the other side of it? Well, there's an easy way to figure that out, and it's Facebook's debugging tool in their developer panel. This is Facebook's debugging tool. This will allow you to see everything that Meta or Facebook sees when you put a link either on their website in general or specifically in your ad. It crawls the link and then shows you everything Facebook sees when it reviews that link. So this will tell us exactly what Facebook sees when we use a link redirect in our ad. So this is a link redirect that I have been using in my advertising. We'll click debug. It says this URL hasn't been shared on Facebook before, fetch new information. So we'll do that, and then we'll look and see precisely what Facebook sees inside of this link. So as you can see, the fetched URL is link.tomdupree3rd.com/hero. The canonical URL is the open.spotify link. And then we have a redirect path. And then the link preview is the open.spotify link itself. So you can see that this link redirect makes no attempt at all to disguise the final destination of this link. So as far as Facebook is concerned, there is nothing standing in their way from reviewing this link and the final destination of the link per their advertising policies. And if we go back to this policy, number 26 under prohibited content, circumventing systems. Ads must not use tactics intended to circumvent our ad review process. Obviously, this link does not do that. This includes techniques that attempt to disguise the ad's content or destination page. Again, this link very obviously doesn't do that. The content is readily available. Now, this link was made using short.io. Let's try a link that was made with toned in. So if we change the subdomain here, we'll click debug once again. So you can see the fetched URL is play.tomdupree3rd.com. Canonical is this one as well. And then we have this input is play, redirect is play. At first sight, this one looks like it might be a problem. You can see that it's not showing any of the Spotify stuff. This preview is one that I made when I created the link on Toned In. And if you come down here, you can see that all of the metadata and stuff have my URL and the Toned In information in it. But there's another tool we can use. Come down to URL, scraped URL. See exactly what our scraper sees for your URL. So if we click this, this is going to take us to a page that has every single bit of data on the other side of this link that Facebook can access by just scraping it normally. If we have made any attempt at all to disguise the destination of this page, then our final destination won't show up in here. I'm just going to search the page and look for open.spotify, and there it is. The target URL right here is open.spotify.com/artist/my-artist-URI. So once again, this has not prevented Facebook from seeing what is ultimately the end destination of this URL. So as far as I can tell, having read through Facebook's advertising policies multiple times and having cited in on these two specific policies, I don't see evidence that would indicate that using a link redirect is specifically in violation of either of these policies. And there are no other advertising policies that I can find that would apply more specifically to link redirects than these two. Now, having said that, there is also no language that would indicate that link redirects are cool and that it's definitely fine and then you definitely should use them. There are always going to be scary stories on the internet about getting banned or getting flagged in your advertising account. Getting banned and getting flagged is a thing that unfortunately does happen from time to time. I have had a ton of perfectly legitimate ads with the Spotify URL and with a link redirect get flagged for a reason that was stupid. One review request solved all the problems and it went away. These things do happen. Obviously, you want to take as many steps as you can to ensure that they don't, but sometimes Facebook incorrectly flags things and it's just the way that it goes and there's nothing that we can do about it. So whether you want to use a link redirect or link directly to your Spotify URL, if you want to use traffic ads to grow your presence on Spotify, I recommend you check out this video right here and it will walk you through the whole way that I do it and how it has worked for me. Now, lastly, before I let you go, if you don't subscribe to this channel and you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And at the end here, got a couple more videos you can check out. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.